keeping that vision strong. I mean, even for myself, like I've gotten down plenty of times. I mean, I'll try not even voice it. Like sometimes it creeps in. And
Ladies and gentlemen,
you are now about to witness
the journey that is the Life Choices podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another week here on the Life Choices podcast. This week, we're welcoming Francisco.
Yes, sir.
Owner of Juice A Holics.
Yeah.
Juice and smoothies. Let's talk about that real quick. What got you into this juice making?
Yeah. So I started off working at I'm not sure if I could say their name or not, but Whole Foods.
Okay.
I started at Whole Foods, and then I was working in the produce department. I saw, the juice bar was like right next door. It was pretty exciting. You had a whole line of people coming up. So eventually worked my way into the juice bar. Was the only guy in there with 4 or 5 women. So it was kind of interesting working around all those different, characters and stuff like that. But I just got educated a lot by the people coming in, and they were a little bit more health inclined than I was. And, eventually I started learning a lot more and got really into the health lifestyle and juicing and smoothies, the health benefits of it, and hearing people's testimonials of actively having cancer or certain diseases they were working through and saying, hey, listen, I'm still taking medicine, but I'm weaning myself off. But this has really helped me out a lot. And then, going into the health benefits of turmeric, wheatgrass, or, even just simple greens like cilantro or Swiss chard, or how that actually helps their body. So just kind of sparked the interest. And then eventually I was I definitely want to do something like this on my own. And the first idea was to get into YouTube, actually start making recipes, because I would make smoothies or recipes for the guests, and then they would always come back a week after, or that same day that, hey, listen, I already drank all that juice of the smoothie. I was like, I need to start making this myself. Can you write down the recipe? And I was like, oh, of course, no problem. I'd write it down exactly how I would do it. And they would, come back a few days later. He's like, hey, listen, I tried the recipe. It didn't come out exactly how you make it, and then somebody, I think, sparked the idea of, hey, listen, you should probably do a YouTube channel so I could follow along. And I was like, YouTube channel, that'd be pretty good. I mean, we're experimenting, making recipes all the time. So from that YouTube channel idea, just sparked the whole idea of, coming up with the name. The name really kind of I was like, oh, this is a great name for a YouTube channel, having to do with juices and smoothies. And then I was like, let's make this actually into a real business. I was thinking about doing a juice truck. Looked into that, and then I was like, all right, a location or how I would go about it. And then actually just created the business, started doing events. Doing events at like a LA Fitness or Orange Theory, other pop-up events locally in in the city and stuff like that. And then trials and tribulations, kind of learning where I was getting good feedback. And now I'm just kind of getting more into the sector of restaurants and bars, providing cocktail mixers and fresh juices for bars and restaurants, along with still trying to do the health aspect, probably more for video content, health benefit juices and smoothies. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
I got to thank Whole Foods, I guess.
I love the name. Juiceaholics absolutely is a brilliant name. I like the design of your logo here on your t-shirt. And I tried you brought me the strawberry lemonade just now, right?
Yeah.
And so I can contest to everyone out there that's watching, it's actually wonderful. My first comment was, I'm not a fan of lemonade, but this one was not as sharp as a lemonade would be. It was very smooth, actually.
Yeah.
You could get the hint at the end of a sharpness, but it was mostly a strawberry flavored beverage, which was quite nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you came up with all of these recipes for all the juices that you have?
Yeah. So I went psycho with it. I actually looked up the top 50, maybe top 100 juice companies all over the world. Made a huge list. I even hand wrote all their menus just so I can get an understanding of the patterns. Okay, a lot of juice menus are doing green juices, or a lot of them are using this type of ingredient, or certain companies are really going crazy into the recipes and including like 8 different recipes and really going health focused, health forward. Others would keep it very simple, where it'd be just like 3 or 4 ingredients, and the menu wouldn't really have much variety. So I just kind of like went crazy in that, and then started picking what I liked out of it, and started kind of creating my own recipes, tweaking it, staying up in the middle of the night, having 3 or 4 different like versions of a juice, having people try it, getting their input, and I just kind of really became obsessed with it. And I was like, it was just really fun just creating the recipes. So yeah, developed the menu, developed a juice cleanse, three different type of juice cleanses. So ideally I wanted to be more like health forward, people cleansing and then detoxing their body using these juices and providing all the nutrients and the minerals that they would need throughout that cleanse and detox. So
you should definitely get your ass onto something like Shark Tank, in my opinion.
I've had a lot of people tell me that, man.
Yeah, because worst case scenario, you get some viewership out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Build the YouTube, build the TikTok, the Instagram. This is what we're all being told to do in order to get that viewership larger. Something you said just a brief moment ago. You said you were obsessed by it, like staying up late and coming up with these recipes and what. It's an absolute fact that you have to be obsessed, right? Like if you don't have the obsession for something, then it's clearly not what you want to do, or it's not what you should be doing. Yeah. Because without that obsession, you're never going to beat the people that have the talent.
I agree.
And not saying that you don't have talent, right? Clearly you do if you're making a beverage that tastes this fucking good. Yeah. But if you have the talent, that only gets you so far. Then the obsession takes you further.
Of course.
So you said that those were your words. You were obsessed to come up with these recipes, which just tells me that you're the horse to bet on, right? Because if you have that obsession, I know you work a job that is fucking late. You don't finish till 2 or something in the morning. So to spend the other nights working late into those hours, that's the proven discipline that you have for obsession, which is awesome.
Of course.
So you came up with the company because you were working in the field of juices at a juice bar, which is awesome. You have bottles, obviously. Everything's just so fucking cool. Like it's thought out, it's planned, and you have a tangible item that everyone out there can actually come and get. And of course, down below right now, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see all of the socials that you have as well. I'll put a couple of like the different juices that are available there, and a link to. Do you have a website?
I do.
Okay, there'll be a link to the website. It's just down below here if you want to check it out, guys. Let's get into the rest of kind of like the built of a person like you, or of people in general. Being that you are running a juice company, this kind of brings into my head like health and wellness, basically, and lifestyle choices, and what do we do at what point in our life to understand what it is we should be doing for ourselves. Because I think we can both agree that the education that is out there, I know we're many years apart. I'm older than you, but I feel like the education hasn't changed from when I was in high school to when you were in high school.
Of course. This
information that you now have willing to give to people wasn't there for us.
Of course.
So let's talk about that for a bit. Wellness, health, education.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it before we started the podcast, kind of like the education system. So like, a lot of the stuff I learned about health and wellness, like I said, was more in the real life situation in the work world, or, the people I interacted with, with that job and stuff like that. So I think there's definitely a lack within the education system as far as like schooling, where you're in school for 12 years. I mean, there's certain things you should definitely learn. And I think nutrition, wellness, the well-being of, keeping your body, healthy should be priority. You know what I mean? If, you can have all the money in the world, and then if, your body you're sick in bed, it's I mean, that's not a quality of life, if you ask me. So seeing these people, that had a lot of money, they were, like I said, that area of Wellington is a lot of the equestrian polo club, and you'd had certain people, they come in there, you could tell they're obviously wealthy, but they're sick, and then a lot of them would be like, I'd be willing to trade whatever, pay $5 for a wheatgrass, $12 for this juice consistently, if this is going to get my healthness, my health back. So I just kind of like learned about that, and I just kind of wanted to make health
a priority,
more a priority, and then I kind of wanted to educate people more behind that, but kind of make it cool, not to like nerd out and geek about it, but kind of like make it like, okay, it's intriguing. It's something you kind of want to learn more about. Optimizing your body and your vessel and providing the best energy for yourself, and then, just keeping yourself optimum, working like a car. Like you'd want your car to be working, running at
best oil possible.
Exactly. So I mean, kind of educating. I was like, okay, becoming conscious of like, okay, eating certain foods, Thanksgiving or whatever, eat heavy foods and then more dense foods, and then kind of getting sleep in your body, kind of shutting off and going to sleep. And then as opposed to, doing an all raw vegan thing or a meal for lunch, and just thinking like, this is not going to fill me up. This huge salad bowls, there's no meat in there. There's nothing in here. And eating it, pushing through it, and then realizing, okay, I'm full. My stomach feels different. I feel light. I'm satiated. And guess what? I feel like I have energy. I feel like I can go do something else. I don't feel like I need to go take a nap after.
It's interesting how you say that, because absolutely, when I was younger, because I was born in 77, so grew up kind of late 80s, 90s, of those years where you're eating pretty much anything you can find. We are educated back then that it's about the protein, about the meat, the animal that you got to eat. And later on in life, you learn for yourself that, oh, wait a second, I've been eating steak every day for, 20 some odd years. Maybe I shouldn't, because I feel heavy, I'm lethargic, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Oh, let me try this lifestyle of eating. And then all of a sudden you do some research, and let's be honest, right now we have a computer in our hand 24 hours a day. The information's out there to be had. You just got to go out there and read it and learn. And then all of a sudden you're right. Like, I go for like an acai bowl, or I'll have a smoothie, and I'll be completely full. Sure, I'll have a salad with like maybe a piece of fish, and I'll get the protein from an animal, but there's so many different ways that you can get your stomach full, and your body can receive what it needs, not what we think we need to put in there to feel full. Which is our mind telling us full, not our body telling us.
Exactly.
Another thing that you had said briefly, I hope I don't lose the point now. I'm going to lose the point. I already did. The wealthiness. The wealthiness of people, and people willing to spend the money for the health, which is true, because there's a thing out there every now and again. I think there's someone that does like questions to people, like if I would you be willing to take $100 million from me? And the person's like, well, of course. Okay, well, what if I said you'll only be living for one more week if you take that money? And you're like, oh fuck, well, no, I'd want more time. And or okay, I'll give you this money, but then your mom's gonna pass in a day. It's like, you would money's not the most important.
No.
We would normally, most people would trade that money for a healthier body, for a longer amount of time on earth. And it's interesting, if that's what we think when we're older, right? Why aren't we being told that in school? Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, there's no excuse why not to learn something. So, you have an influx of all this information, and, like you said, you have your computer in your hand, and you got the TikToks, you got the Instagram shorts, you have everything, you're scrolling all the time. So, you got to kind of be mindful what you're absorbing, you're feeding your mind. So, like, kind of going into like certain things, like there's, if you actually want to be educated, I try to be mindful when on my phone, where I'm mindlessly scrolling and just taking entertainment, just kind of like, okay, I just want to feed the junk food to my mind, and then I'll be like, okay, let me be mindful and direct to something that I want to learn. Okay, so like let me watch something about like a fitness thing, or something about cooking or health, or just even like traveling, educating something. So it's still somewhat entertaining. You know what I mean?
You have the entertainment value, but you're also educating your brain.
Exactly.
So your brain's actually being used in the appropriate way that it should be used, rather than just mindlessly. Like, it's funny that you bring this up, because each episode that I record with someone, nobody knows what the conversation was before, obviously, because I do the whole batch filming. But almost every time the next person says something that we discussed on the previous episode, which I fucking think is so bizarre how that works.
Synchronicity.
Yeah. I brought up the topic about the practice that I implemented into my life, because I noticed that everything I was following on Instagram or even on TikTok was absolutely not good for my brain, wasn't good for my soul, and it wasn't furthering me as an individual. And so I implemented the thought first, was like, okay, this isn't good for me. Check. Okay, I know the problem now. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to mindfully stop wasting my time on this bullshit. And by doing that little bit each day, after a couple of months, I noticed that whenever I first off, I don't really scroll through like your feed anymore. I got rid of all the bullshit. So I'm a guy. I love women. I was looking at a lot of fucking bullshit. Okay. So I got rid of all those accounts that were like bikinis and just like for what fucking reason? I get annoyed that those individuals, is it annoyance? Is it jealousy? I'm not 100% sure right now as I think about it, but those that are doing just that sort of stuff, the bikini stuff or whatever, that's like selfie, 100 million followers, right?
It's insane.
It's horrible because then you have people that are trying to do something for others and it's like 12 views.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what happened there?
Yeah.
So I made that practice because I figured out what it was that I was wasting my time on, made the decision, and then over time, I realized that I stopped doing it. So now when I'm scrolling, it's more like I find a reel, click on that, and now you get the Reels feed. And I know now that if you stay on something for more than, I think, 3 seconds, all of a sudden that's what's going to show up every time.
Okay.
So if you stop on some girl shaking her butt for 3 seconds, 2 more reels, there's going to be another girl doing that. So I was like, well, fuck that shit. That ain't about me no more. I want to see shit that motivates me to want to self-motivate myself when I don't have the phone. And then that's what I noticed. Now, the only stuff that comes up is stuff that's pertaining to where I'm trying to get to in life, rather than just, oh my God, here I am, bored out of my mind. I'm just going to do this. No point.
I realized that I have 2 accounts. So I have the Juice A Holics Instagram. I have my personal Instagram, and the Juice A Holics ones I only like, or I try to view health focused thing where it's like recipes, smoothies, juices, or just like fruits and vegetables. There's more like health and fitness and all that stuff. And then my personal one, even then I'm still very mindful, but it is scattered with the girls or even just like the local thing, community of people that we know and stuff like that. But then I always try to be mindful. It's like, okay, let me like this post because I want to see more of this.
Exactly.
It's horrible to sound. I try not to like even like sometimes with like friends. If friends are like marketing certain things, because then it's just gonna be all on my feed, and it's like, stuff. Oh God, now my feed's, But I mean, try to minimize the time with that. Social media. I mean, where we're at right now, it's a tool, it's a weapon, it's a
everything together, right? Because it can be the greatest possible thing to help you build your company,
for sure.
But it can also tear you down.
It can,
like mentally, physically as well, because you'll stay up later, mindlessly scrolling, and before you know it, it's 4 a.m. But yeah, it's an interesting time that we're living in with all of that. A couple of things that I've noticed that you might already know, but like with your business page, what we need to do as business accounts, because I have the Lyfe Choices and then I have the Chef Bradley Instagram, and you need to interact with those who are doing what you are doing. So any page that you follow that's in the juice industry or the health industry or the fitness industry, and again, this is where our world is going. We actually have to spend time responding to those people. It's a weird, I don't understand algorithms, but from the aspect of this is what you should do, even though I'm kind of on both sides of this is you should do and this you shouldn't do, they do say, and there is some proven reciprocation when you go out of your way to start commenting on other people's fitness pages, and then all of a sudden your stuff shows up on theirs, and then they'll comment on your. But you have to keep doing it. You have to be consistent all the fucking time.
No, I agree. So I mean, that's you're gonna leave your personal account alone, and you have to kind of like really go off in this brand and then try to communicate through this brand, this different face that you're wearing. I agree. I mean, and then to be honest, I mean, the little times I've done that, I do feel a lot better as opposed with my personal account, my personal life, and just kind of like the messages will be with friends or just, I mean, nobody's really hitting you up to try to do a marketing thing or whatever it is, or support you for whatever you're doing. So, I mean, when you do step away from your personal profile and you try to market or interact with the community in that profile, I feel a lot more fulfilling. It's a whole different identity, if that makes any sense.
You're growing your business, even if it's ever so tiny in that day by talking to 5 other people that are in the same field. That little bit is such a huge brick in your future. Like 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, oh yeah, all those little conversations I had with others in my field are now people I'm collaborating with, or maybe I have 4 other businesses now, and 2 of those businesses are with 2 of those people that you know what I'm saying? Like, and let's be honest, we all have our friends. We have our groups of people that are our true friends that we hang out with, right? Do I communicate? We have a group message amongst our inner circle of people, and yeah, everyone kind of throws out a video or something. But when it comes to like doing something with your friends, like, I mean, first off, we live next to each other, but we either call or we go to each other's house. It's like, yo, hey, we're all thinking about going to grab dinner. You don't need your Instagram for that. That's not what I think Instagram is for. It's for your business. It's to create a company that you can facilitate for yourself, not to have to go and be a bouncer at a bar anymore. Because as much fun as that might be, because I get it, there's a lot of fun aspects. There's a lot of bullshit too.
For sure.
You gotta deal with a bunch of fucking drunk idiots, you know, people that don't get that all you're doing is your fucking job. Telling people to do this or not do that, or please, hey, like, it's your job. You have to do it. And they should respect you for doing that. But Instagram is a tool for business. It just came out at first as a look at me, I have 100 million friends, I'm more popular than you, and we all agree we're fucking done with high school. Let's leave that in high school. Oh man, let's do business.
Some people don't get it, but no, I mean, I to be honest, I don't feel like I've utilized Instagram to its full potential. And the thing is, there's so many new little techniques or things they're coming out with nowadays where it's like you have to really keep self-educating yourself in that platform. To be honest, I mean, if there was like continuously schooling for that, that'd be a really smart thing, and I'd probably sign up for it, you know, like some night classes, how to utilize that. But then as being a business owner, you have to kind of like, yes, you have to learn the general information for, say, a platform, so you can try to, you know, delegate and tell a person, hey, listen, I need to be making more Instagram shorts. I want to do this. I want to, you know, take this video, cut it in 2 formats so we can start, you know, engaging with people in this way. Or, you know, even if you feel like, hey, okay, I'm going to hire this marketing firm and just give it up to them and understand that this is what they do. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to having like the basics.
You have to know the basics first.
Exactly.
I'm going to agree with you on that. 10 fucking fold. Because when I got into this realm and I wasn't really sure, I mean, I knew nothing. I knew fucking less than nothing because I wasn't a tech person. I didn't know anything about any of this equipment. And I got into it and I hired people to help me out. And unfortunately, not all of them, but some of them didn't exactly know as much as they said they did. And that was a lesson learned for me because I was outputting money and not getting an ROI and realizing that unfortunately some people are going to bullshit you and say they're here and then you see the work which is here. So I've done it backwards. I went that route. Now everything on my own shoulders, and I've learned how to do all the little aspects, and I'm still learning.
We know we're nowhere near perfect, so we feed off the feedback, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, let me know. You sure? Okay. Because I mean, I'm open for the feedback. You're not going to hurt my feelings
at all. Like I want to become the best I can be because I'm obsessed about this realm is like, this is where my heart's at right now. You know, cooking was like what got me here, and I still love that. And I'm doing other stuff on the side for that as well. But this is what I get off on this shit. You know, after I have a recording session, the rest of my day is like fucking cloud nine. Nothing can hurt me after that.
I agree.
But if I'm not doing it right for everyone out there, I need to know. And I don't give a fuck how cruel they are. Someone told me, have you ever thought about like not being the host? Like maybe it's not for you. And I was like, oh, what a dick. But then I was like, oh, wait a second. Let me listen to why he says that. And then let me see if I can take his suggestions and change it. And in hopes 3, 4, 5 months from now, maybe I change his mind. And that to me would be a huge success because I'm taking information that I don't actually want to hear, but I'm implementing it in a way that I can change for the better.
Interesting. I mean, you could take it even though, like, I don't know what he was referring to. I don't know if he was talking about like a DJ Vlad style where you're off camera, you still hear yourself communicate, and it's like the mystery behind
who it is.
Right. All you hear is the voice, and then the guest was like, never know. I mean, see how like I took what that person's like the constructive criticism, like I don't like, was like, no, obviously I want to be on camera, but then it's like, hold up, what did he mean by that? Like,
but that's a good point you're bringing up there is how we interpret things, because when we're given information, regardless where it is, a classroom, at the bar, with our friends, each one of us, there's no human being on this earth that has the same fingerprint as you, right? That's like a proven scientific fact. Even twins don't have the same fingerprint, which is funny because they're twins. but the fingerprint's different. So if that's the case, we also know that we interpret things differently. So I'm guessing we're interpreting things based on ourselves, based on our past, our history, how we've come to this point right now. So you and I can both get the same information from person C, but we can have two different interpretations of that information, which is so mature of someone to say, okay, well, why were they saying it, or what was their interpretation supposed to be?
Exactly.
And that's an interesting topic, because we're always being told things, or people giving us advice, or just chit-chatting about what you're doing. Like, I'm sure people come up to you and give you ideas of recipes and whatnot all the time, right?
And I'll listen.
Exactly.
I listen. Sometimes your pride, sometimes, like, after you reach a certain, level where you're like, okay, I already kind of know how to do this, or there's always people that have, opinions. They always want to just throw certain, hey man, you should do this. Hey man, you should do that.
And the best thing you can do is smile and say, all right, I'll put that, I'm going to put that in my notes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can piss them off. Yeah. And you don't want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, you
right?
agree. Yeah.
But something you said earlier there is opinions. I said this the other day. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? Mm-hmm. But you never know what opinion's going to come your way, and might actually be the next pivot for you to actually get yourself to the next higher level of success. Yeah. So we always have to have an open mind. Yeah. We don't, there's a thing I'm trying to remember what I say now. 3 things I think about before speaking is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And if someone's giving you their opinion, before you rebut, if you think about those 3 things, you can kind of save face, and possibly not hurt their feelings, because all they're trying to do is give you advice in hopes to help you become better. But sometimes we interpret things differently than they're given to us, and we can react poorly.
Of course.
And we don't want that.
Sometimes sometimes not everything you're going to tell a person is kind. You might say it in the kindest way possible, but it's sometimes the truth hurts, man. I mean, something sucks, but like, yo, listen, that recipe sucks. I'm sorry, you went too hard on the ginger, or you need something to sweeten it up. And it's like, damn, okay, it's the truth.
100%. But and I'm going to be the flip side of that is that individual should know how to say what they're saying, right? Because I would respectfully, being of a food background, I would say, listen, I don't know what you were going for on this recipe, but for me, that ginger is so much there that like the back of my throat is burning. And for me, I don't appreciate that. And then you would be like, oh, bet, okay, well, let me go back, let me taste it. Oh yeah, it is kind of a bit of a burn back. Let me just lower that a bit. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the way in which you say something, I guess. Something you said earlier that you were saying about the staying up late and doing the recipes and all that sort of stuff is, I like to talk about this because a lot of people don't understand it. So if I just met you and I see this shirt, Juice A Holics, and I see this unfucking believable talent at creating like this is full on like out of a restaurant. This is so professional. And I'd be like, some people would be like, I should say, oh, it must be nice that you're the success company. and then it's like, yeah, it is, but it was fucking hard work. And you had mentioned a whole bunch of the little things that people don't always seem to understand what we do, regardless what industry we're doing our dream or going after our passion or what have you, is all that hard work that is being done on a daily basis. Even your closest friends may not see what you're doing all the time that's getting you to that level of success. And I think that's something that should be educated in school. Like we were saying earlier, like what we were being taught and what we could have been taught is a big difference.
Of course.
And if someone would say to a teenager, if you want to have a Fortune 500 company, you need to understand what you're going to sacrifice. You're not going to be going out with your friends 7 nights a week drinking, which seems to be fun, and it's what we see on TV, movies, sitcoms, is all like, hey, go out and have fun and drink and try drugs and be experimental and have fun. But it's like, okay. Or Sit your fucking ass down on a Friday night, make a game plan, figure out what do you actually want in 10 years. Not what do you want this weekend?
Yeah.
The highlight reel. No. What do you want in 10 fucking years? Okay, what do I have to do for that? And break it down to a child, 17 years old, leaving high school, about to go into college, and say, you're going to have to do like 40-hour work weeks after your 40-hour work week of the job you're getting paid. And you know, maybe one of them clicks and is like, fuck yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
So that when I'm 30, I have 2 successful businesses, rather than at 45 trying to figure out what's the next step.
I mean, I think it always comes down to like the vision, that dream. Like once you actually sit down and figure out what it is, I think that's like the biggest step, kind of like taking a deep dive and looking at yourself, your life, and like, okay, where am I at right now? Where do I want to be within 5-10 years? And actually looking realistically, not holding too much like back, because I'm not saying, hey, listen, you can be a president if you want to be a president. Let's be somewhat realistic. You know what I mean? Not to say you can't be a president, but just be like, okay, if you do everything right, I'm not saying winning the lottery or anything like that. If you do anything right, you put in your work ethic, you do your schooling, you do your due diligence, 5-10 years, where can you be? And kind of like really deep diving into that and discovering, okay, these are my passions. I'm really interested in this. You know, I'm interested in food, travel, videography, creating content and stuff like that, whatever it is, and kind of narrowing that down, and then kind of having that vision in your head, and kind of like if your heart kind of flutters, you're like, dude, if that's like, that would be my everyday job, or it's not even a job, if I just wake up and this is what I get to do. If once you figure that out, and then you can kind of create a plan backwards. Okay, well, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to get to this. And kind of making the steps and just keeping that vision alive. Then all this, as long as you know, okay, it's going to take me 5 years, 10 years. Like you said, I'm going to be having to work 40-hour weeks. And then on the weekends, work security to you know, have that little extra income to invest in your side gig, your side business, your side hustle, or whatever that dream is, you know, funding that. Because I mean, in my path, I've had several people, you know, kind of like willing to throw money at me. They see the logo, they see the menu, they see the branding. Like I really went kind of crazy in for me, when I had this vision for the company Juice A Holics, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. The branding has to be on point. Like I kept looking at the industry, and a lot of like the juice companies were more geared to marketing, I feel like, to females, kind of like the feminine gender, and just like the bottles and just like the logos. So I wanted something, as you can see, that looks a little bit more, I won't say masculine, but it kind of resembled like the alcohol, whiskey. It
appeals to men.
Yeah, exactly. But yet still be interesting, intriguing to females. So I had that vision, and I wanted to do that way. But I had that whole idea where I wanted to do everything a certain specific way. But I've had people come up to me, they see, okay, I can definitely see this next to, you know, a Bole or a Plaza, where there's all these,
I was just thinking like Jamba Juice. There's no, like, I'm in my hand, Jamba Juice, I could see this being just as franchisable. That's a bullshit word I just made up, but whatever. It's absolutely possible. Like, why not? People love juice. And I think, I don't know if it's the time we're in or it's the age we are.
Oh, man. Everybody's into health right now.
Everybody.
The health and fitness is just exploding.
Because it's almost like once you kind of get close to that 30 years of age, and then I can contest to this because I'm in my mid-40s, you like... You don't want shit to go wrong with your temple, right? And it's it's always been a huge movement out there, like as far as I can remember. But just now, it's so visible because there's so many people doing it. The knowledge is out there for people to understand. Okay, they used to make fun of wheatgrass when it first started showing up at gyms. Why the fuck would I want a fucking shot of grass? But now it's like, oh, do you have other options? The turmeric, the ginger. So it's like, it's so tangible, it's so desired and wanted from both sexes, which is perfect for what you're trying to do. And you can hone in, not just like, you say you were envisioning everything to the point of where it works. I mean, you're a visionary because you're also realizing where you have optimal potential is not just a juice bar, but you also have bars, because your juice, which is healthy, can still be mixed with the fun. You know, so you have all the different demographics of people, health going people, party people, and at the end of the day, it don't matter because they're getting some amount of healthiness coming at them.
Exactly. I mean, it's been working really well with the like cocktails, to be honest. I mean, it's not exactly what I kind of wanted to get into, but I mean, I figured if you're gonna drink anyways, might as well drink something that's fresh, you know, not I don't want to say not pasteurized, but I would say like not concentrated, because like a lot of the cocktails, so I mean the name also came from my bartending experience. So I bartended a pretty high-end, you know, a few high-end restaurants. I did the Breakers, a few other places where they really took, you know, they put a lot of love and, you know, craft into their craft cocktails, using the highest quality, you know, spirits, or, you know, the lemons, the limes, or, you know, the juice mixtures or whatever it is, the liqueurs, and just seeing how that was crafted. I was like, all right, you know, this could work perfectly. I mean, and even with the juice one, how I craft a juice recipe, I kind of take that same, the profiles, the citrus, the sweetness, and, you know, the knowledge I had from bartending into that. And I think that actually contributed with the name as well.
Juice A Holics, absolutely. Because like, when I first said it, I was like, it's so interesting because, yeah, it's a play on words, but you want someone to become a juiceaholic, right? Which there are people that really are.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I know
that community is crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
but in a good way.
I want to touch on something else you said there, which I actually really enjoyed. You were saying about your passion, about having butterflies when you're thinking about doing it or whatever, and if you get that feeling, that gut feeling of just excitement because you're doing it, then you're on the right track. And not saying that that's what you're meant to do, just that one thing, because as you grow as an individual through life, you might pick up different passions and desire. And when you have that feeling, you absolutely have to go for it. But this is my personal opinion, what that feeling is going to do for you when you realize the amount of work that you're going to have to do to get it to where it needs to be, is going to get you through all that mundane shit that you have to do, which people don't necessarily realize. And I'm going to say it, kids these days, they want
instant gratification.
They want this to be successful. The next day they do it. Ain't gonna fucking happen. There are a few maybe, you know, viral things that get you there, but straight up honesty, when I say it's a 10-year fucking plan, I'm looking at 10 years down the line right now, and I'm okay with that because I have such a fucking passion and such excitement and drive. But that butterfly feeling, you know, like your first kiss in grade school, when you have that feeling, it's gonna get you through all the shit you have to go through, not just the work.
Vision, man.
You need it, because you're gonna have a lot of other shit coming at you. You're gonna have the naysayers. You're gonna have the people that are like, "What are you fucking doing, dude? Like, look at you. What are you going after a fucking juice company? You're a fucking man. Like, all right, fuck you, buddy." There's a lot of shit
for sure. I mean, I think keeping that vision strong. I mean, even for myself, like I've gotten down plenty of times. I mean, I'll try not even voice it. Like sometimes it creeps in and it's like, dude, what are you doing? You've been working on this for so long, or even just like for me, like right now, I've tried to keep 100% ownership. I wanted to build this into something where it's tangible, it's producing a certain amount of income, you know, it's a full-fledged business and it's functioning. And then at that point, if somebody comes around where I think we align, our mindsets align, then, you know, maybe I'll do a business partner. But, you know, taking the longer road where I'm just doing this by myself, having a 9-to-5, having a pretty decent job, you know, and then on the weekends, working security Fridays and Saturdays, sacrificing my Fridays and Saturdays just so I can, this little bit of income, side income, I can keep investing into my business. Therefore, I don't need to go get a loan or have somebody come in early on and just dump money on me. Now they own 30, 40%, 50% of my business.
51%.
Yeah. And then your whole dream is gone. Your dream is sold. It's not even your dream anymore because this person has so much of an influence in there. So I've had that time where it's like, you know, working on this concept to where I'm at now and realizing this might take me another few more years to get where I need to be, and being so kind of like eager to make that dream manifest. And you're like, sometimes you're like, it kind of crumbles all on you. It's like the weight of it crumbles on you. And then you're like, dang, do I still want to do this? And then those thoughts come in there, and you got to really like knock them to the side. Don't even entertain them, because like little by little they try to, they come in there, try to like crack your dream, and deteriorate you little by little. But that's why you have to have that vision strong, man.
It's the construct of our bodies, which is, I had a guest on here the other day. Her name's Jennifer Alley. She's coming back again, and she's she helps people with consciousness. And she explained the fact that our brains are already programmed with the negative, with the don't do that, it's not safe, or oh my God, you're going to get hurt. And that's what you're talking about, those little thoughts that come in. But having your consciousness alive and knowing that what you're doing is the long haul is exactly, don't entertain. I wouldn't say don't entertain it. I would say allow it to come in so you can recognize what that is, take it, and then just say, not today, motherfucker. And then continue on with your path.
Let it come through you, of course. I mean, just realize you're down for the day. You might have got a little, defeated that day or whatever the week is, but then just keeping that vision strong. And then sometimes, you have to kind of be like, okay, should I? I mean, I've had that thought. I was like, should I let this person invest in the business now? Is this right now the right time? And then just kind of taking a look at that. But as of now, like what I'm thinking is like it's not
the right one. Well, like you were saying, the manifestation is a huge part in my life, and the scary moments of creating something new is again what I'm getting off on right now. It's we're filming this. It's the month of October. This is not going to go up until probably, I think maybe in December, possibly January. Okay. But I'm only here for 1 month because what I do for a living, I come and go, right? So this month I have to get 12 people in the studio and film so that I have enough for the next 3 months that I'm going to be away.
That's pretty sweet.
Right? Yeah. But there's that little nervousness, like, fuck, am I going to get it? But the thing is that I just get off on is like having that spirituality that we were talking about before, and having that manifestation ability. And it's like, for me, having faith in God, it's like, you know what, motherfuckers, let's see if we can get this done. And and it's actually like not even a worry, it's more of a game for me. It's like, all right, when am I going to get those 12? All right, okay, I got 3 in today, okay, I got 2 coming tomorrow, I got next weekend, I got 2 signed up, and it's like, fuck, I'm getting closer and closer. And it's like, I don't really worry, am I going to get all 12 of them? Because I know I'm going to, but it's that excitement of the burden on my shoulders almost,
Well, that deadline. The deadline helps.
It gets me going.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's to like will it into existence as well too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm focused on this. It's a good thing, I'm going to bring to the world or for myself. You're not trying to hurt somebody. So it's like, okay, I'm going to will this into existence. And
what I want right now, because I have my vision for 10 years from now, is I just want to keep practicing. I'm not expecting 572 people to watch this episode. I would love it. If 2,000 people watch it, I would love it even more. If 10 people watch it, I'm not going to be upset, because I'm earning education by sitting here talking to you right now. I'm learning about your juicing company. I'm learning about you as an individual, which just strengthens our friendship. Of course. And I'm learning a little bit more. Like when I watch this and edit it, I'm going to see, was I able to implement what the other people suggested I should do? And then when it airs, I'm going to be able to see, okay, did I get a little more, intrigued by other people, or are people now commenting more because they saw a difference? Speaking about spirituality and manifestation and willing it into existence, not normally conversations that people of a certain lifestyle or a certain look, people would judge right away. A well-built bouncer at a club that normally has to have a kind of stone face, because you're doing a job there. How much of a spiritual person would you say you are, and how much of that spirituality do you think helped you get to this phenomenal stage in life right now? I
mean, I don't want to say I'm like the most spiritual person in the world. I would say I'm more spiritual than religious. Growing up, a lot of my family members were into religion, into the church lifestyle. I would go to church when I was younger. It was more like a social setting for me. I didn't really get too deep into the whole biblical religious thing. I knew it was pushed a lot on me, and I kind of like, I want to say I rejected it. It's just kind of like when you're trying to be force fed something, and you know, just kind of seeing the feedback and how you were treated if you didn't want to take this force feeding of something, and then just kind of like understanding certain things on my own after, you know, getting older and self-discovery. I don't know, spirituality is just something that kind of like resonated with me more. And there's different aspects of spirituality, right? To me, like now, what I would say spirituality is like we are energetic beings in this vessel having this experience. There's certain laws of the universe, you know, that you should abide to or be aware of. You know, obviously, like I think the Bible and religion has a lot of those essential things in there, essential, what I was going to say, I'm not sure what the word is, but I would say like be kind to others, you know, like killing is wrong or lying.
They're all the religions are based on the same valid points that we should live our life by.
The values, certain values.
Respect your elders, be kind, don't cheat, don't steal. I can't agree with you on your outlook on religion versus spirituality. I came from a very religious, reformed Jewish family. I'm so happy with everything I experienced, but I would have liked to have a bit more of an option doing it. Now I've read, you can see the books. I have the Bible, the Quran, books on Buddhism.
See Law of Attraction up there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Taoism, like so many different aspects that I think we should all learn all of it. Being spiritual is the way I lived my life for a very long time. Once I removed myself from the congregation and didn't really follow per se Judaism, but now I'm back into my faith. The past year I pray every day, every morning and night, gratitude list, all that sort of stuff. But it's interesting how we're forced upon certain things as youth, and as we grow and get out of our own, you know, or we start creating our own environment, that we're able to become spiritual or religious and take from it what we want, and then live our lives from what you're saying, the good aspects of all of them, and don't be mean to people. Don't kill a motherfucker.
Try not to.
You know, try not to, right?
It's kind of hard nowadays.
I mean, I think 50 Cent said it in an interview once, the greatest thing you can have is time, and the biggest punishment you can get is time. And that's a fuck situation right there, right?
That's very deep, actually.
Yeah, like when I heard that from him, I was like, rewind. I listened to it like 10 times. Like, the greatest thing you have is time. And the biggest punishment is time. So clearly that's what we should be going after is time. So spirituality, how do you think that brought you into where you are now, though? Like how much did spirituality help you with Juiceaholics?
I mean, I think health goes pretty hand in hand with that. I mean, so for me, I think understanding the body, having more of an understanding of the body of like, okay, we are energetic beings in this vessel. You have to feed energy to this vessel. So when you're eating, you know, you're essentially eating a second source of sunlight, regardless if you're eating the byproduct, which would be the meat. The meat eats what? A lot of the times plants, you know what I mean? And the plants eat what? The sunlight. So essentially what we're eating is sunlight, light. So kind of getting deep into that and energy, and we are energy beings, and just kind of getting real deep into that, and then just kind of like, okay, spirituality is more about energy. You are an energetic being, and just kind of having an understanding of energies around you and the laws of frequencies, vibrations, you know, and energy. I think that was Nikola Tesla. So I think food goes really into that, because I mean, eating high vibrational foods, and that's what kind of intrigued me for me. Like, so I love martial arts. I was really kind of into martial arts. I'm still looking to kind of get more into it, but I don't want to get into a ring and fight for, you know, whatever it is. I just like the spiritual aspect of martial arts. So like, I think martial arts, the truest form of martial arts, is kind of a way into spirituality and becoming godlike. I don't know how, you know, I don't want to offend anybody like that, but I think so. Like, you know, you look at the highest form of martial arts, you kind of become, you're unlocking like the superpower. You become like the master, you know what I mean? It's like you're becoming godly. So, I mean, looking at food, what you're putting in your body, the highest vibration, it goes into spirituality as well, because you're eating low vibrational food, you're vibrating at a lower vibration. Your mindset's at a lower vibration, your body, whatever, your energy levels. So for me, eating high vibrational foods that are raw, electric, that are alive, you know, you're taking this plant, this produce, and juicing it raw and taking it in, or whatever, you're eating it. You're taking something that hasn't been cooked. You know, you're not taking this slab of meat that's been, you know, it's dead for 5, 6, 8 days. You're cooking it, you're eating it, and then your body's taking so much energy
to break it down.
So I think spirituality and health kind of go hand in hand, you know, taking high vibrational foods and taking it where you're optimizing this vessel, where you're trying to basically allow this channel, this vessel to take in all the spiritual energy, this God source energy that's all around us, so you can be a vessel to be kind of, you know, unlock the highest version of yourself. I mean, I think that's pretty interesting.
Like an onion, there are so many layers to you, let me tell you. And the knowledge that you have, because you've taken the time to obsess about what it is you want to create, and knowing that the level of importance of what you're putting into your body, as someone who works out as well, you know that 90% of it is your intake, not just, you know, the gym aspect. But you have the understanding of what these good foods are going to do for your body, and the fact that this is what you want to put out in the world. You're not just creating a tangible, marketable, now popular situation. You're doing it because of the understanding of how well this is going to help any individual that consistently drinks this juice. You know, it's a full circle thing that you're doing. It's not just, hey, I own a business and I want you to spend $20 on a drink because I'm going to become rich. No. I want you to drink this stuff because it's going to do you a good thing.
No, I see where you're going at. So taking more account into educating. Yes. I mean, I think that's a big part of my business as well, because like you said, I can just sell a guy $20 for this juice right now. Like, damn, what's in this juice? Gold?
Yeah.
Right. And then there's that aspect of educating it, and I think that's kind of the tough part sometimes, because like, okay, how deep, like every time I'm selling this juice, or say I'm doing an event right now, and every time I sell this juice to somebody, am I going to have to talk to this person for 5 minutes about, hey, listen, this is the 5 reasons you want to take these are the health benefits? But I mean,
what you could do is just have it on your website.
Yeah, I mean, and then the menu has the health benefits on there. So like all the recipes I designed were health benefit focused. Okay. So the juice was like, okay, I want to make a juice for immunity, anti-inflammatory, and, you know, anti-inflammation or antiviral, whatever it is, or something for like, okay, heavy metal detox. You know, a lot of times they have like lead and all these heavy metals in their food, I mean, in the waters. And even if you're drinking the best water, sometimes you're showering in it, you know, your skin's your largest organ, so you still need something to detox those heavy metals out of your body, you know what I mean? And depending if you have a shower filter or not, but that's another thing. The whole water.
Right there's a whole other level of information that people probably don't realize.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people just want to get the juice because it's trendy.
Yeah.
You know, which is great, fine, buy it. But if you actually know what other aspects of your life that are going on that you actually need this juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an interesting concept that would inevitably just create even more success and more profit for you. And because you're willing to educate people on that information, it's not a trendy thing that you're trying to make money off of. You're actually educating and making a business to.
Of course. I mean, you want to see people doing the best they can, right? So
I want to thank you so much for coming by today. I really do appreciate you coming by and talking about Juiceaholics, but also sharing with us your mindset on different topics such as spirituality and education. We're going to do this again in the future. Next time we do it, we might be in the new studio for season 3.
That's exciting.
I want to congratulate you, because like I've said already, and all of this information is going to be down below about Juiceaholics. You have an amazing brand. I have tasted it, so I can say without a doubt it is wonderful. I wish you all the best of luck with this. This is something that I am happily awaiting to be either listening to a podcast or watching a TV program and seeing a commercial for this coming out, because then I'm going to know motherfucker really fucking made it. You know, so we're going to get there. We're going to collaborate in the future as well. I have a few other new guests that are kind of in the food industry, but not juice. So I think I'm going to make some introductions in the future, and maybe we'll put on an event basically where all of us can kind of come together.
That'd be nice.
And do something fun as a community of different people. But thank you so much for coming by today.
Thanks for having me, man.
If anyone wants to get a hold of Francisco here, we're going to have all the TikTok, Instagram, website, all the stuff is just down below here in the description. The link to the website in order to get some juice is also down below. I want to thank everyone out there, all of my lifers who are coming by week after week, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. here to watch us here on the Lyfe Choices podcast. Thank you so very much. Again, if you want to be a guest on our show, just leave us an email. All the information's down below. And I look forward to seeing everyone here next week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. for the Lyfe Choices podcast. Much love, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You are now about
The Journey Life Choices podcast.